Hi guys, sorry to interrupt your video. Just a quick plea, subscribe to my channel please. If you haven't done it already, subscribe. Tell your friends, subscribe. Thanks. Diversion signs. Right. This is your symbol, okay, on this sign. May be used or may be replaced by route numbers. Right. When in an emergency it is necessary to close a section of motorway or other main road to traffic, a temporary sign may advise drivers to follow diversion routes. To help drivers navigate the route, black symbols on yellow patches may be permanently displayed on existing direction signs, including motorway signs. On all-purpose roads, the symbols may be used on separate signs with yellow backgrounds. They're not wrong, you know. So it's just a freestanding thing on an A-frame, just a sign leaning against a post or something. These are the signs that you could be used. So we've got basically the 4 basic shapes, but they could be filled in or empty. Here's an example, one built in, so they're built into signs. Or these are separate signs, so these could be just on an A-frame with a sandbag leaning on top of them. Right, yes. So temporary diversion signs may be required when a road is closed for reasons other than emergency, i.e. to carry out roadworks. And this is the sort of stuff that you're going to get. So it says roadhead closed, diverted traffic, and then you follow it because you're on the temporary diversion. Now, only follow them if you are told to, i.e. a sign saying road closed, follow diversion, right? Don't just follow the symbols. I've been with students on driving lessons where a road somewhere was shut. We weren't even on that route, but then the students suddenly saw a sign that says follow this, so they just started following it. But we weren't even told, that sign doesn't know where we're going. All it knows is that people who were driving from a place to go to another place were put on a diversion route. So don't just follow them unless you've been told to follow it. All right. Right, I've come up with an example diversion so you can see this in action. Right, so you're driving down the M3 towards Basingstoke, but they shut it to junction 4. So here we got junction 4 there, and they direct you to junction 4A to get back to the M3. So they've got a diversion route built into it that takes you back. So this bit of the motorway might be shut, but then you can go down here, get off, and then back on again. So let's have a look. Right, so sign on the motorway would say this. You are now supposed to follow it as solid triangles as it got here. So we've got M1 North closed. Obviously substitute M1 North with M3 South in this example because we're going southbound on the M3. Alright, but basically you've got the roads closures, there'll be loads of traffic cones and they'll shoot you off down there. On the M3 slip road you would see this sign. You were told to follow a solid triangle. There's one, because if we go back to here, see it says triangle. There's your triangle, so therefore we're going to go up here and turn left at the roundabout. So we're going to head left towards Camberley. And we do, so we go down here, left at that, so we're here. Then we go underneath the bridge and we come to the next roundabout, Camberley, and the triangle is right, so we're going to go right. So we're going to head off down there. We come down to here. Here's our triangle. Remember, we're not following for Camberley. Camberley happened to be this way, but we've been told to follow a triangle. So the next roundabout, follow the triangle and turn left, this time towards Basingstoke. So we're going to go down here. This is where we saw the road sign. Let's come down here. Now we're coming up to here. We've got another road sign, so we're going ahead. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's where our triangle is. So we're going to go ahead, third exit towards Reading. So we're going to shoot along here because we're going ahead. Now we get all the way up to here where we get another roundabout. Now this is the one that we said earlier on about temporary road signs. So this is the type of signs that they put up. We've been told to follow triangles, so we're going to go left at this point. Here we have another M3 diverted traffic sign. We've also got a temporary triangle there. So we're going to go left again. So now we've got all the way down there, left, along head at the roundabout, then left at this one and left again. Now we're just following the road all the way down to this roundabout. We are back at the M3. We were going to Basingstoke, so follow signs to Basingstoke on the M3. Alright, so now, yes, the triangle has disappeared, but it's basically taken you off there, around there, brought you all the way back to the M3 so that you can now decide what you were going to do. Were you going to Southampton direction, or were you going... So you just follow the road signs for whatever you were going to do. Other information signs. Right, so this one means no through road. Okay, so here we've got no through road for vehicular traffic in the direction indicated from the junction head. So if you go along here, turn left into that road there, it's a dead end, you're coming back. And that's what these rectangles mean as well. We saw them at the beginning when I was showing you about basic rules of how a road works. They still count as exits off the roundabout, so I'd be going 1, 2, 3, 4 if I was coming back on myself, and as I come along here then that would be 1, 2 and then 3 if I came back on myself. It's just that they're a dead end, so maybe a road to an estate where you have to turn around, or a football pitch or something like that. So it still counts as an exit because you can get off that roundabout, it's just a dead end. So if the sat-nav is saying, hey, to go to Liverpool, let's go down here, you look at the road sign, you go, I don't think so, Mr. Sat-Nav. I think you have made an error. Here, the sign is incorporated into the road name as well. So we've got it just there, it's at the end, as well as the standalone sign. And here are the equivalent matrix and roadwork signs. So as you see, because on the matrix signs that you get in the middle of a motorway, the old style, they couldn't put colour in. So you just have to extrapolate that looks like 2 lanes running and 1 that's shut. Just like we get here, 2 running lanes and 1 shut. So this is the equivalent of that. So whenever you see these little red triangles, it just basically means triangles, rectangles. Whenever you see the red rectangles, then you can't get through. Crawler lane. This is the theory test question as well. Well, they all are, aren't they, frankly? Right, a crawler lane is... found on long steep hills and is a lane for slow vehicles. Anyone can use them, but you will find lorries or caravans in them trying to pull themselves up the hill. So this thing is all telling me I've got a start of a crawler lane here, so I'm expecting slow moving vehicles climbing up a hill. So cars would normally whiz along here, but of course if there's nobody in the left hand lane, you should still use the left hand lane. It's just don't be surprised if there's a lorry doing 5 miles an hour in it. Alright, this sign, end of a motorway. So this is the end of the M3 heading into London. In this example, the motorway ends so anyone can use the road, but now it's a 3-lane dual carriageway with a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. So the regulations have now changed. So for instance, you would expect learners to come up here and drive on this bit, but you would not expect a learner to come along this bit. And like unofficially, I think the minimum speed limit they want is 40 miles an hour. So for instance, you are not allowed on the motorway on a horse, for instance, but you would be on a dual carriageway, although you'd be an absolute lunatic to do it. But you could. Right, specific purpose lanes. Right, this is a high occupancy vehicle lane designed to cut down congestion in cities. Looks like a bus lane, fine. This lane can be used by vehicles with more than 1 person in it. So you've got buses, motorbikes or cyclists, but not lorries over 7.5 tonnes. So here we go. So we've got a 2+ lane. So if you're doing a car share, then you can use the lane. So can buses, motorcycles and cyclists, but nothing over 7.5 tonnes. Right. This is a high occupancy vehicle lane, but only in the days and times shown. Outside of those times, anyone can use the lane. Right, these day time constraints here can be applied to any type of lane: bus, cycling, high occupancy vehicle, etc. Okay, so if no constraint is shown there, then it applies 24/7 365. Okay, if there is a constraint, it applies during the days and times shown. Outside of those times, anyone can use it. So in Camberley, for instance, there's the big road that runs down towards the meadows, so Camberley's on your left. There's a bus lane on the left hand side there, and it's only Monday to Friday, and everybody gets all very upset at the weekend, but it's like I get my own personal lane. I just jump into the bus lane and drive down because it's only a bus lane Monday to Friday, so why not use it? It's an empty road, or empty lane should I say. Par exemple. Okay, so this is a lane for local buses, not national coaches. cyclists and taxis. There is no time constraint, so it applies all the time. This is a lane for buses and cyclists, any bus. And remember that a bus is defined as any vehicle designed to carry more than 8 passengers, just so you know. You don't need to know that, but you know, if you were wondering, it is. And anyone can use the lane outside of those times. So this is what we've normally got in Camberley. It's probably that, actually. That is probably the one we got in Camberley. Monday to Friday, 7 till 10 and 4 till 6:30. So during rush hours, it's a bus lane, but outside of that, anyone can use it. Contraflow a bus lane. Right. Okay. With flow means traffic driving ahead. So in a one-way street, we're all with flow. If you drive against the flow of traffic, then you are going contra to that traffic. Just like to contradict someone is to go against what they say, right? So contra means go against, right? So this is a bus lane going contra to the flow of the traffic. That must mean that the traffic is in a one-way street, and therefore the lane for buses is going the wrong way effectively in a one-way street. If it's just a normal road, which is a normal two-way road, then they wouldn't have a contraflow bus lane because that road is designed to have traffic going that way. So a contraflow exists in a one-way street. Here we have a contraflow cycle lane. That's what that means. So we are in a one-way street, but here we have a cycle lane where you could have cyclists going the wrong way. Right. Here's your hospital signs. So you've got hospitals with accident and emergency departments or minor injury units are indicated by red signs. So if you had an emergency, you want to find a red one. And if it's not 24 hours, then it's full time, right? A blue one indicates a hospital without accident and emergency. So like care homes, that sort of hospital. A route to a hospital, like here, may be indicated on a direction sign by an H symbol, by a red or blue patch, and it will say all of this stuff on it, right? So this sign shows a local road with 3 junctions ahead of it. The H symbol on a red patch indicates a hospital with A&E facilities. The water closet here, the toilet, and wheelchair symbols indicate there. Notice that the George Barracks is in a red border, and that means Ministry of Defence. Okay. There's one down in Devon actually where there's a road sign. It's got a red thing and it says secret military base. This way. Why would you do that?